Hello, and welcome to NextGov's How to Write a Statement of Qualifications presentation. If you have started your state job search, you may have noticed that some job postings require a statement of qualifications to be submitted along with your other application materials. So let's dive into what makes a great SOQ. So what is a statement of qualification? A statement of qualification is an additional document that helps highlight your experiences and explains how you meet the qualifications for the job. It's important to note that an SOQ may or may not be part of your application package, and the criteria for an SOQ will vary by job posting. Some may ask you to address specific questions, while others may have provided an opportunity to explain how you meet the qualifications of the job, similar to a cover letter. We'll go over this in more detail later in the presentation. As mentioned before, the job posting may or may not require a statement of qualification. So how do you know if it does or not? If the job posting you are applying to requires an SOQ, there will be two areas on the job posting that will highlight this requirement. In the image capture on the right, we can see that SOQ requirements can be found in the job application checklist link under additional documents or in the section labeled special requirements. In this SOQ example from the Office of Housing and Community Development, we can see that this statement of qualification is requesting that specific questions be answered. It also states formatting requirements like numbering your responses and using Arial 12-point font. Make sure you read the SOQ instructions thoroughly and follow the instructions. SOQs can be used as an example of your writing proficiency and ability to follow directions. Stand out among other candidates by ensuring your SOQ is formatted according to the instructions and there are no basic grammar, spelling, and punctuation errors. In this SOQ from California State Parks, we can see that it is asking for a more general response, similar to that of a cover letter. Like the last example, be aware of any formatting instructions or special directions. When it comes to SOQs, many people ask if there are templates available to use. Unfortunately, providing a template would be a disservice to candidates because SOQ questions and formatting will vary between each job posting. A template is more likely to confuse you than help you successfully land a state job. With that said, here are some general do's and don'ts that will help you write a great SOQ. As mentioned previously, ensure you follow all formatting instructions. Grammar, punctuation, and spelling all count, so you may consider having a second person review your SOQ for any errors. Each job posting will have a duty statement. Use the duty statement to help align your education and/or experience with the desirable qualifications and tie that into your SOQ answers. Many SOQs will have a 1 to 2 page maximum requirement, so be concise and use plain language within your answers. Your SOQ is not scored on how many big fancy words you use. It's scored on your ability to explain why you would be the best candidate and your ability to provide quality examples as evidence. Now that you know what to do, here are some things to avoid. When writing your SOQ, avoid acronyms and jargon that may be specific to your department or industry. For example, if you work at the Franchise Tax Board, don't use FTB in your SOQ. Spell out the department's name. This rule also applies to any programs or systems you may use. Lastly, do not regurgitate your resume in the SOQ. Your resume should be a highlight reel of your experience, but the SOQ is a narrative using how your education and experience applies to the questions being asked. You should be using real and recent examples to showcase how you are the best candidate for the role. For example, the SOQ could ask a question like, tell me about a time you implemented change and what was the result. Your resume may say something like increased employee retention by 3% through engagement strategies, but your SOQ should say something like, in my role as X, I led a team of 3 analysts through an organizational change of implementing 365 performance reviews, enhancing employee resource groups, and developing a budget for professional development opportunities, which led to a 3% increase in employee retention. The answer includes some relevant information from your resume, but it also highlights your leadership experience, ability to manage multiple projects, and implement successful change. There could be further details added to this answer, but this is a basic way to understand how not to regurgitate your resume in your SOQ answers. Any additional details should enhance your answer opposed to feeling like a long-winded story. With these tips, you are on your way to creating a quality statement of qualifications.